Hello guys, welcome to your channel MBA Wallah by English. Now here we are to discuss the CAT 2024 slot 2, the questions that were to be left, the difficult 11 questions, how do you recognize them, and if you're looking for those high numbers, 100 percentiles in quant section, or maybe you want to maximize your score through quant, and then you have to deal with these questions as well, and then you have to deal with the right approaches as well. Otherwise they would be very time taking and you won't be able to do more than 2 or 3 of these, right? So here we're going to learn how to approach the difficult questions so that you can finish up the question within the constraint of the time, and we'll see that how the difficult questions in the CAT look like. So my name is Rahul Bathla and I am your quant mentor on this channel. CAT 99.95 percentiler, GMAT 780 and a quant 100 percentiler. Let's begin today's game, right? Difficult questions round 2. More or less I have 11 questions that were non-doable, all right? We'll start with the arithmetic. The first question which I've placed in the undoable list from the perspective of the student is this. Not because it is difficult, but if you do not approach this in the right way, then it is going to be very trickier. All right, the question length, too much time taking. I want you to pause and try the question on your own so that you can appreciate the approach and you can understand how the approach changes the entire game. All right, so hoping that you have paused the video and tried on your own, and now it's my turn. So when I see this question, company has 40 employees, names are listed in certain order. In the year 2022, average bonus of the first 30 was this, last 30 was this, first 10, last 10. So what I see is we have a set of first 10, we have a set of last 10, and then the middle 20 for which, with which we are playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume the 40 people like the first 10, the middle 20, so that if you talk about the average of first 30, I'm able to take care of them. And then the last 10. Suppose we have 3 lots. The sum of the first lot is A, the sum of the second lot is B, the sum of the third lot is, let us just see. Now when it says the average bonus of the first 30, so the first 30 average is given to us. I can find out the sum of them, right? So sum of them is, as per me, A plus B. Using the formula of average, total people 30, average 30 into 40,000, 4 zeros, 1 0, 1 lakh side, 3 fours are 12. So A plus B is 12 lakh. Done. Similarly, I'm going to crack the entire scenario because I have divided the 40 people in such a beautiful way that the first 30 is A plus B, the last 30 is B plus C, first 10 is A, last 10 is C. Because you always kept them same. That is how you approach. Now see, the last 30. For me, the last 30 sum up to B plus C. Let us see, as per the question, the last 30, they have the average of 60,000. So 4 zeros, 1 0, 1 lakh side, 6 3s are 18. B plus C is 18 lakh. Now, first 10 and the last 10 employees together was this. So first 10 and the last 10, that is A plus C for me. What's the average? 20 people. 20 people into 50,000. So 20, 1 0, 4 0, 1 lakh side, 2 5s are 10. That's 10 lakh. Recognize this. Cyclic equations, A plus B given, B plus C given, A plus C given. Add all of them, divided by 2, you get A plus B plus C. If you add all of them, you get 12, 18, 30 plus 10, 40 lakh. But when you add all of them, you get 2 times A, 2 times B, 2 times C. So divide 2, you get A plus B plus C. That's 20 lakh. That means you know everything now. A plus B is 12 lakh. And all of them together make 20. So if I put 12 over here, C comes up to it, 20 minus 12, 8 lakh. So these guys are 8 lakh. Subtract B plus C over here. B plus C is 18. So A has to be 2. Together they are 20. Right. So put 18 here. You get A as 20 minus 18, 2 lakh. Get B. Put A plus C over here. They make 10. So B has to be 10. Together they make 20. So I have solved the entire scenario. The first 10 has 2 lakh. Middle 20, 10 lakh. Last 10, 8 lakh. Now, if the average bonus of the first 10 employees increased by 100%, that means they were already 2 lakh, 100% is 2 lakh, add 2 lakh, now they stand for 4 lakh. They remain the same as per the question. What happens with the last 10? They increase by 200%. So 200% of this is 16 lakh. Increase it by 16. 16 plus 8, 24 lakh. That's the final game. First 10, middle 20, last 10. How much is the total? 24, 28, 38. So that means now the sum is 38 lakh. Total people 40. Leave 1 0 because it will take the lakhs and convert it into 10,000s. Right? It was 1 lakh, 5 zeros, 1 0 taken away. 4 9.5. So 9.5 into 10,000, that is 95,000. Look at the smart calculation. Look at the approach. In such manner, we will be able to do this difficult scenario also. But the idea was assuming the first 10 sum to be A, middle 20 to be B, and the last 10 to be C. If you can think of that, then the approach is spot on. Why did I think like that? Because the question played with the first 10, the last 10, and the first 30. First 30 means the first 10, which we have assumed to be A. So the middle 20 is a separate entity, right? That's how it has to be played. If yes, you're spot on, guys. Let's try one more famous question that got repeated. It was in 2023 as well, or repeated in 2024. So that means the past 3 years or 4 years test becomes very, very crucial for us to solve. And let's try. A fruit seller has a stock of mangoes, bananas, and apples with at least one fruit of each type. Okay, so you have mangoes, bananas, apple, necessary for you to have at least one of each kind. At the beginning of the day, the number of mangoes were 40% of the stock. Most simplified ratio or fraction of 40% is 2 by 5, right? 40 by 100, 2 by 5. Once you have converted the 40% into the simplified ratio, now assume the total to be the denominator, that is 5x, and the numerator to be 2x. Of course, you have to include a variable because there is a specific number later on, 96 bananas. So this is 2x, that is 5x, 40%, right? And that day he sells half of the mangoes. So half of the mangoes, that means x mangoes have been sold and he is left with x. 96 bananas, I don't know what they were, so I'm assuming them to be y. 96 sold, now you're left with y minus 96. And 40% of the apples were sold. So again, 40% simplified ratio is 2 by 5. So 2 by 5 of the apples. So assume apple to be 5z, so that 40% can come out. So now 40% of them were sold. So 40%, that means 2z, right? Not x, my bad, z, right? 40% of 5z, remaining 3z. And in such a way, he end up selling 50% of the fruit. So 50% sold, 50% left. 5x were total, 50%, that means 2.5x sold, 2.5x left. Now, smallest possible total number of fruits in the stock. That means I'm here to minimize x, right? Because I want to minimize this number, and this number can be minimized when x is minimized. So this plus this equals to 5x, 2x goes over there, y plus 5z becomes 3x. First equation, right? 2x goes over there. This plus this is 2.5x, 1x is here, so that means this combined makes the rest of 1.5x. This plus this 2.5. So that means y plus 3z is equals to 1.5x, and this 96 goes over this side, becomes here. So you have to be quick in your approaches over there, in your thought process over there. So I was making equation in two variables, y and z. This was very simple since this is 2x, total is 5x, so this has to be 3x, 2 plus 3, 5x, 5 plus 5z, 3x. This is x, remaining has to be 1.5x. This goes over here, this plus this equals to this goes over here, right? Eliminate y. Don't eliminate x because you need it. You need to minimize x. Eliminate y, that is one thing which we don't need. Let's get rid of this, eliminate it. 5z minus 3z, 2z, 1.5x minus 96. So 1.5x comes out to be 2z plus 96 multiplied by 2. 3x equals to 4z plus 192. x equals to 4 by 3z plus 3 6 18 112 64. Now, what can be the minimum value of x? It depends upon what is the minimum value of z. That is fixed, 64. What is the minimum value of z? Think. I need to make it an integer. Why? Because I had mangoes as 2x. Any fruit will have to be integer at the end of the day, right? So x has to be an integer. Now to make this integer, I need to make this integer. And to make this integer, I need to get rid of this 3. And who will get rid of this 3? Of course, the z. So the minimum value of z has to be 3, so that this gets cancelled by this by 1, right? So z has to be 3, otherwise you will never end up in an integer. Smallest value of z becomes 3. Don't say 0. Every fruit was at least 1. So this goes away. Z is 3. X equals to 4 plus 64. X becomes 68. And the minimum value becomes 5 into x. That is 5 into 68. 340. That's our answer. So beautiful question. But the right approach, the right tables, the right equations, it can be done within the time limit. Yes. So another tough one. Let's go to the other tough one. So arithmetic, some questions were brutal. Algebra, some questions were brutal, right? Let's have a look at another one. Distance, time, speed. Approached in the right way? Fantastic. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in the middle. And then after 3-4 minutes, once you spend them, you'll feel like moving away. Try? Okay, assuming that you have tried. A bus starts at 9 a.m. and follows a fixed route every day. One day it traveled at a constant speed of 60 and reached its destination 3.5 hours later than the scheduled arrival time. Let's assume the scheduled arrival time as t. So if the bus goes at a speed of 60, it takes 3.5 hours more than the scheduled arrival time. Scheduled arrival time, 3.5 hours more. Speed into the time taken, total distance. So that means I know the distance. So I know the distance of the fixed route using this equation. Now next day what happens? Next day it traveled 2/3 of the route, somewhere here. Distance, time, speed. Fine. 2/3 of the route. 2/3 of this. 2/3 of 60 I know. It is 40. So 2/3 of this 40. Remaining, let it be as it is 3. Once you are going to calculate 2/3 of distance, you will calculate 2/3 of 60 into t plus 3.5. Let the 2/3 handle by 60. 320 ja 22 ja 40. Keep the rest as it is. You're multiplying 2/3 to this. Handle it with 60 now. Leave it like this. So I know that okay, this much distance has been traveled in the 1/3 of the total scheduled travel time. That is t. So for this much distance, you have taken this much time. Perfect. The speed I don't know. Let us see if we will require it or not. And the remaining part. What is the remaining part? Out of the 60 into t plus 3.5 or 60k, 40k is gone. Remaining is 20k. So 20 into t plus 3.5 is left. This much distance, the remaining, has to be done at 40 km/h speed. Okay, so the time I can calculate to reach just on the time. Okay, so what is the time over here? This upon this will lead to 1 by 2 t plus 3.5. And if you travel this way, you will reach exactly on the scheduled time. That means this plus this is equals to this, one table, and you are done. Right? 2/3 of the distance, that means 40 into t plus 3.5. 2/3 of 60k is 40k. Is done in 1/3 time. This has to be done in 2/3. 20 into t plus 3.5 left. You're going with a speed of 40. How much time actually you are taking? This upon this, that's 20 by 40 half, remaining as it is. So this plus this becomes t. 1 by 3t go over there, and ultimately this guy becomes 2/3 of the time. 1/3 taken here, so 2/3 has to be here. Or you can say this goes over this side and gets subtracted. Ultimately, the equation is half into t plus 3.5 is equals to the 2/3 of the time. That means t plus 3.5 equals to 4 by 3t. 3.5 equals to 1 by 3t, and t comes out to be 10.5. So that means your schedule time is 10.5 hours or 10 hours 30 minutes. You leave at 9, 3 hours you are 12, remaining 7.5 becomes 7:30 p.m. right? So 7:30 p.m. Option D. You will be reaching at 7:30 if you go as per your scheduled. Just one table. Watch it slowly as per your own time. Pause the video at every step. Try to get what I am trying to teach you. Right? Approaches. Final day's work. The final month action is this. How to gain the scores. Chala, let's go to the next one. Try this one. A difficult question yet again. Work rate and time. Try. Alright. Assuming you did try. Amal, Vimal together can complete a task in 150 days. Amal and Vimal. Time 150. Fantastic. Vimal and Sunil. Vimal and Sunil. 100 days. Fantastic. Amal starts working on the task and works for 75 days. Okay, so now we have the work that has been done in the broken parts. So stop here. Assume the work. LCM of the time, that's 300. So we already have two equations. Rate 2, rate 3. That means A plus V is 2, V plus S is 3. Assuming A and V to be the rates of Amal and Vimal and V has to be the rates of Vimal and Sunil. We have two equations already. Just need one more and we are done. That will be given by this. Now, what happens if Amal starts working on the task and works for 75 days? So that means 75A. This much work is done, time into rate. Then Vimal takes over and works for 135 days. So 135 is the time, rate is V because Vimal is working. This much work is done. Finally, Sunil takes over. That means now you're working at a rate of S and you work for this rate for 45 days. And the work that is 300 gets finished. Done. That's our equation. We can simplify it a little bit. It can get cancelled by 5. Let's take it off. So we have a 5, 15 ja 15A plus 5, 2 ja 7 ja 27V plus 9S is equals to 60. Now guys, you have three equations, three variables. Pause and try to solve them as quickly as possible. Apply a little brain. Think, think, think. The idea is A plus V is 2. That means I know 15A plus 15V will become 30. A needs 1V as a partner. We have 15A. So let us give 15A 15V. So that A plus V was 2, 15A and 15V will become 30 together. Then V will take 1S and become 3. We have 9S. Let's give 9S 9V. Because we know 1V and 1S gives 3. 9S will take 9V and become 27. V plus S 3, 9V plus 9S 27. How many V's are left? 15 and 9. 24 gone. We had 27. So we are left with 3. So that we have 18 and 9, 27. So I broke 27 into 15, 3 and 9. How? Because 15 and needed 15V, 9S needed 9V. Beautiful technique. And by this, I have V. So 3V comes out to be 3 and V comes out to be 1. Once I have V 1, A also comes out to be 1. S, V is 1, so S comes out to be 2. And now we know the rate of A, S and V, that is 1, 2 and 1. Pause the video, try to analyze what I have done, taking the work as the LCM, getting the two equations here. And then the scenario when the work was broken into three parts, and in that 15A, 27B, 9S, I separated them smartly. 15a I gave 15v, 9s I gave 9v, 15, 9, 24v done. You had 27, 3 remaining. This becomes 15 2 is 30. This becomes 9 3 is 27. 57 goes over there. 3v3 v1. Now the question says if Amal had started the task alone and worked on all the days, Vimal had worked on every second day and Sunil on every third day. So it's a cyclic pattern, but not a straight one. Amal on every day, frequency 1. Vimal on every second day, frequency 2. Sunil on every third day, frequency 3. Now the cycle will be of how many days? LCM of all these frequencies, 1, 2 and 3. LCM of 1, 2 and 3, 6-day cycle it has to be. So when a person comes after a certain time interval, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, the cycle has to be of how many days? LCM of these frequencies, 1, 2, 3. It is going to be a 6-day cycle. Let's write down here day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 and day 6. Amal is on every day. So Vimal on every second day. So here, here and here. Sunil on every third day. So here and here. That's your cycle. After this, it will continue to repeat. Now you can calculate the number of or amount of work in day 1 or cycle 1, right? So let's calculate the rate. Here, day 1, you have a rate of Amal. Amal has a rate of 1, right? So here we will have 1 work to be done. Day 2, Amal and Vimal. Amal, Vimal, 2 works will be done. Day 3, Amal and Sunil, 3 work will be done. Day 4, Amal, Vimal, 2 work will be done. Day 5, Amal, 1 work will be done. All 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 work would be done. So basically what do we have? We have one cycle, 6 days and how much work? 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 13. 13 work. So in a single cycle, 6 days will go by and 13 work will be finished. You need to finish up 300 work. So let's see how many cycles are required. Now 13 into 20, because in a cycle we have 13 work, is 260. So 13 into 23, 3 more 13s, that's 39, 299. So 23 cycles of 13 work will give us a 299 work. Alright. So if I go with 23 cycles, 23 into 6, that's how much? 120, and 138 days. We will be done with 13 into 23, that's 299 work. Now just one more work to be done. 30 days, 138 days already gone. Now the cycle will restart and this day 1 will come. So 23 cycle complete, that's make 138 days. And after that, a new fresh cycle will start, and only on the day 1, the remaining 1 work will be done, and your 299 and 1, a total of 300 work would be done in 139 days. Pause the video, try on your own. The answer is 139. 23 cycles, every cycle contributing to 13 work, and 6 days, making it 138 days and 299 work. 1 still left, will come for the day 1. 139 day, work gets over exactly. Difficult. Let's jump to the algebra questions that were difficult, but these arithmetic questions, they were really brutal, tough to handle, right? Algebra still doable, better than what? The arithmetic, but still tough to observe. X and Y real numbers. Now guys, whenever you see these powers, quadratic powers, right, and that too in multiple variables, the game is definitely based on perfect square, making them this perfect squares. So what I see is 4x square and minus 4xy, right? Let us see how much y square they will require. So I know this is going to be 2x whole square. that's 4x square. How to settle minus 4xy? 2 into a, already I have 4x. I need 4xy. So 1y has to be given. So now I have a square minus 2ab, and here 4x square and 4xy are settled. Now what do you need? You need b square. That's a y square. That will take from here. 1y square taken away. So I handled these two guys. This is a 2x ka whole square. A square is created. 2ab I had 2. I had a. I need a b. And I know I have to create this as minus 4xy. I already have minus 4x. I need a y. So this is my b. So this is my b square. 3y square still remain. And then you're left with 6y and a 3. This entire thing becomes 2x minus y whole square. And here, see what happens? If you take 3 common, this is y square minus 2y plus. That means 2x minus y whole square plus 3 times y minus 1 square equals to 0. Sum of even past 0, that means each interval you have to be 0. So that means y minus 1 is 0. That means y is 1. 2x minus y is 0. That means 2x equals to y, which eventually is 1. You're asking me what? 4x plus 5y. 2x is 1, so 4x is 2. 5y is 5 into 1, that's 5. Answer comes out to be 7. Tough to observe, but if you could observe it, that you have to convert it into a perfect square, then absolutely doable, right? Just the first step is important. Let's have a look at one more, a good algebra question. Pause and try, guys, otherwise no point, right? Pause and try this one. All right, assuming you have paused the video, tried it on your own. Now my turn. Guys, see what's happening is you have a root of x plus 6 root 2 minus a root of x minus 6 root 2, and this comes out to be 2 root 2. Right. Now think, guys, what would have happened. Observe few things. Observe, there is, of course, there is one method that I square it up. The root goes away, then I have 2ab term. Then I take that alone and then square it up. Square it up 2 times, we'll get the quadratic, solve it. Not going to do that. Long root. Observe, they are conjugate pairs. One is x plus 6 root 2, one is x minus 6 root 2. And they are simplifying to a very, very small number, that's 2 root 8, 2 root 2. Right? Very small, 2 root 2, that's your answer. That means they have simplified quite a lot. That means ultimately this could have been a perfect square. That means x plus 6 root 2 might have been a perfect square. If this was a perfect square, the root would have faded. This would also have been faded, and you would have got a simple number. What I'm trying to say is, let us say if x plus 6 root 2 was a perfect square. Let us say root a plus root b whole square. Then what would have been x minus 6 root 2? The conjugate pair. The conjugate pair, that means root a minus root b whole square. So if that was the scenario, this guy would have been simplified quite very simply. This is root a plus root b whole square. That means something like this is written under the square root, so that this gets very much simplified. And similarly, this also is something like this, conjugate pair, so that this also gets very much simplified, and ultimately you get the answer root a gone, simply a 2 root b. Only in this scenarios you are going to end up having a very simplified RHS. Otherwise, you will never get a very simplified RHS. You will have multiple roots over there. They are conjugate pair. If they are not a perfect square, this will never get away. And if the square root does not get away, it can never be simplified to such a small number. That means this guy is definitely a perfect square, so that the root is handled, fades away. This guy has to be then, if this is a root a plus root b square, this has to be a root a minus root b square, conjugate pair, so that the root again fades away. So square will handle the root, therefore it has to be a perfect square. The square handles the root, the square handles the root. I am down to this. Clearly, I get b as 2. Sorted. One variable we already know. Second we'll get from here. So what we have assumed is that root a plus root b square is x plus 6 root 2. Let's square it up. It is a plus b plus 2 root ab is equals to x plus 6 root 2. What do you know is b is 2. So this is a plus 2 plus 2 root 2a is equals to x plus 6 root 2. Now this is an integral value which will be equal to this. So the integral part on the left hand side is equals to the integral part on the right hand side. This part, the rational part, right? This a will come out, right, by root a, or you can simply put everything inside the root. If this 2 goes inside the root, what happens? This will become root. 2a was already there. 2 goes inside by squaring. So 2 square 4. 4 into 2a, this is root 8a. So the third part here is 8a. What about here? 6. 6 goes inside, becomes 36. Already at 2, 36 2 is 72. So 8a becomes 72. A becomes 9. X becomes 9 plus 2. That's 11, which is your answer. Not that easy, but of course, if I assume that this guy is root a plus root b whole square, I'll quickly write down this as 2 root b. I'll never write down these two things. This was just to explain you. Conjugate pair, one has to be a root of root a plus root b, other will be root a minus root b. Then we'll think of 2 root b, 2 root 2, b comes out to be 2, done and dusted in 5 seconds. Once you get a b2, open this up. A plus b plus 2 root ab is x plus 6 root 2. This guy is 2a plus 2 is x. Take this 2 inside, becomes 4, 4 2 ja 8a. 6 inside, 36 2 is 72. Difficult ones, right? The easy ones which were doable of CAT 124 already done in the previous video. These all are difficult. Why? Because I've kept them dealing with the difficult questions that came, right? Another one, quadratic equation, calculative. Otherwise, this was a easy one, a straight one. But of course, calculative. है ना? Let's try. So pause and try. Pause and try. Pause and try. Pause and try on your own. Okay. Hoping you are done with this. My turn. What we know is the roots of these equations are alpha and beta. So alpha plus beta is minus lambda by 3. Alpha beta is c by a, that is minus 1 by 3. This is also given to us. Taking the LCM, we have alpha square plus beta square equals to 15 alpha square beta square. I hope you understand what happened. LCM, denominator alpha square beta square, goes on the right hand side. Alpha square beta square, you know, this is 15 minus 1 by 3 whole square, that's 1 by 9 or 5 by 3. So that means I also know alpha square plus beta square, that's 5 by 3. Using all these three, I'll be able to find out lambda. I know very well. How? I know the property that alpha square plus beta square equals to alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. Use it, get the value of lambda. Right? Let's get lambda, guys. 5 by 3. Alpha plus beta whole square is lambda square by 9. Minus 2 into minus 1 by 3, that's plus 2 by 3. Comes over this side. 5 minus 2, 3 by 3, 1 is lambda square by 9. That means lambda square equals to 9. I told you I'll be able to find out lambda very easily using these three. Simple property a plus b whole square. And now we have the value of lambda square. Forget it to find out lambda plus minus 3. We'll see later what we need. Now we need to find out this guy, right? And we know the property. Alpha cube plus beta cube is alpha plus beta. Alpha square plus beta square minus alpha beta. But you don't have alpha cube plus beta cube. You have the whole squares. So give the power 2 to both. Alpha plus beta square, that's lambda square by 9. Lambda square by 9 is 1, or lambda square is 9, put 9, 9 by 9, 1. This guy is 1. This is 1. Sorted. No further calculation required for this. Let's talk about this guy. Alpha square plus beta square, that's a 5 by 3. minus alpha beta, minus 1 by 3, that's 1 by 3 whole square. 6 by 3, 2, 2 square, that's option A, right? So I told you algebra was comparatively easier, but arithmetic brutal. The difficult questions of arithmetic were untouchable. If you go into them, you're destroyed. Time taking, time wasting. Yes. Now these are still the ones where if you struggle, you will get the answer eventually, right? But, or see, algebra was not that brutal. If you go into this, yes, it will take time, but eventually you will get the answer, right? And when I talk about the question like this, you will definitely not jump into it. I'll talk about the question like this, you will definitely not jump into this, or if you jump into this, after first step, you are done. Arithmetic wasn't like that. You will jump also into that, and then you will struggle with that, and eventually you'll not get the answer, you will leave it, right? Tough situations to handle in arithmetic, tough calls to be taken in arithmetic. Let's have a look at this one. Algebra using modulus. Pause and try. Beautiful thing over here. Remember guys, mod x plus x or mod x minus x, they are beautiful terms. This guy becomes 0 when x is negative. Alright, you can see this kind of term over here. If x is negative, this remains as x. This opens up with a negative sign, becomes 0. And this becomes 0 when x is greater than 0. This, if x is greater than 0, mod opens like this. We already have x, you get it, right? Or you can think, let us say if x is 3, 3 minus mod of 3, 0. If x is negative, minus 3 plus mod of minus 3. So mod of minus 3 becomes 3, minus 3 plus 3. You can pick up any positive and negative numbers and try. So if you observe that, he is giving us these scenarios only, mod x plus x, mod y minus y. So I'll start from these scenarios only. Let us say if x is negative. See, I have to do 4 cases, na, otherwise. X plus y minus x plus. So much time taking. Let's first put x less than 0. Solve this. If x is less than 0, this guy goes away. This becomes 0. That means this equation is y equals to 50. And now if I put y15 over here, what happens? 15 minus 15, 0. That means x comes out to be 20. But we assumed x to be negative while solving this. So contradictory. That means x negative not possible. So x negative is not an option. Now we definitely know that x has to be a positive quantity. So within seconds, you at least know one catch. Similarly, let's make that 0. How to make this quantity 0? Mod y minus y is 0 when y is greater than 0. So if y is greater than 0, we get x as 20. Let's put x 20 over here. 20 plus 20 will come out to be 40 plus y equals to 15. Y comes out to be minus 25. But we assumed y to be greater than 0. Then only we got x 20. Again contradictory. So this scenario is also not possible. That means y cannot be positive. Y has to be negative. So now you know your scenarios, x positive and y negative, finish it off. So if x is positive, this equation becomes 2x plus y equals to 15. If y is negative, this opens up with a minus sign, x minus 2y is equals to 20. Done. We need to calculate x minus y, we can easily get. From here, let's put x equals to 20 plus 2y. Substitute it over here. 2x becomes 2, 20 is 40, 2, 2 is 4y, plus y equals to 15. 5y becomes minus 25, y becomes minus 5. Y negative, yes. Put y over here, x becomes 20 minus 10, that's a 10. X is equals to 10, a positive, yes. So x minus y, 10 minus minus 5, that's a 15, option A. Right, so algebra was tough. See, in case you would have not absorbed this things, if you don't know these things still, you would have made 4 cases, plus, 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 minus, minus, plus, minus, minus. You would have rejected few, and ultimately you would have got this answer. Time taking, but yes, you would have got it. With the right approach, you will get the answer with the given time. but you won't get stuck. You won't be in a situation where you have to do it or leave it. That's algebra. Beautiful. Arithmetic is something which will make you struggle, make you do all the hard work and still won't give you the answer, and eventually those kind of scenarios come where you don't get the idea whether you have to go ahead or you have to go back. So beware from the difficult arithmetic questions, right? Another one, algebra based on log, not too difficult, just kept in the round 2 because of the extra scenario they have given apart from the logarithm concept, right? Try and then I'll go. Okay. Assuming you have paused and tried on your own, now my turn. It says if A, B, and C are positive real number, A greater than 10, greater than equal to B, greater than equals to C, and then you have this equation, greatest possible integral value of A. Okay, let's solve this part. Clearly, I see that this is log 8, which is 2 cube. The power 3 will come back and reciprocals to 1 by 3. Why I'm doing that? So the base in the numerator as well as the denominator becomes same. So that I can apply base change theorem, right? So 8 is 2 to the power 3. The power of the base goes back, becomes reciprocal. Similarly, I'll do over here. 27 is nothing but 3 to the power 3. This 3 will go back, becomes 1 by 3. So you have 1 by 3 log base becomes 3, A minus B. And in the denominator, you have log 3 base 3. Now the bases are again same. On the right hand side, you have 2 by 3. 1 by 3 is common, right? Let's get rid of 1 by 3. Take it common, write down here 1 by 3. 3 gets cancelled and that's sorted. And now what I have is log A plus B base C, same base gone, plus log of A minus B base C, same base gone, equals to 2. Identity log m plus log n, yani log mn, this into this becomes A square minus B square base C equals to 2. So C to the power 2 equals to this. Eventually you get A square minus B square equals to C square, or A square comes out to be B square plus C square. Now greatest possible value of A. My question to you is, when will A become greatest? When these guys become greatest. The left hand side hits the maximum when the right hand side hits the maximum. Eventually they both are equal. What's the maximum value of the right hand side? When B and C takes maximum value. What is the maximum value of B and C? They are always less than 10. So maximum value of B is 10, maximum value of C is 10. So A square has the maximum value of 100 plus 100. So A square has the maximum value of 200. Right? That means A can reach to root 200. We know 14 square is 196, 15 square crosses this. So maximum value of A is 14 point something. Maximum integral value 14. You cannot go to 15. You have the maximum value of 14 point something. So up till 14, it's in your reach. Not 15. 14 becomes our right answer. Tough. Not till here, but after this becomes tough. Right? Got it? As told you, dealing with the tough questions today. But even if you can understand them at this pace, great. But you'll only be able to do that if you have studied well throughout the year. If you're watching this video without actually doing the logarithm, no. Not on the right video, my friend. First watch foundations, get done with the topics, then only these videos are there. Right? Chalo. Let's go for the geometry question, the tough geometry question that came. Try on your own. Figure wasn't given, and I guess the figure was the catch. Tough to make the figure, specifically within the paper, right? You don't have those tools, na? Creating the circle, triangle, right? So you have three equal circles of equal radii, touch but not cross each other externally, something like this. Three circles touching externally. Two other circles x and y are drawn such that both touch do not cross each of the three previous circles. Two circles, one will be inside, one will be outside, so that they touch all the three circles but do not cross. If the radius of x is more than y, ratio of x and y. You are looking for the ratio of this and this circle's radius. The game is about the ratio. The best thing what you can do for yourself is assume the radius of these circles as 1. Right? Of course, the question is about symmetricity. Draw a triangle joining the centers of these three circles. Now, since the radius is 1 for each of the circle, this is 1, this is 1. That means it's an equilateral triangle of side 2, right? We have an equilateral triangle of side 2. How to calculate the radius of the larger circle and the smaller circle? Think. Understand. This is an equilateral triangle. The center of this is going to be the centroid, right? This part is going to be the centroid of the equilateral triangle, right? That means this length is going to be 2/3 of the median. This is the centroid. Centroid divide the median in the ratio of 2:1. And in equilateral triangle, median, height, perpendicular, bisector, everything is the same. This distance has to be 2/3 of the median or 2/3 of the height of the equilateral triangle. Yes or no? What's the point of this? Beautiful. Larger circle's radius is 2/3 of h plus this radius. What is this? This is 1, we know. This circle's radius is 1. Larger circle radius becomes 2/3h plus 1. Smaller circle, 2/3h minus r. This much is 1, right or no? So 2/3h minus 1 gives you the smaller radius, this much, isn't it? So smaller radius is 2/3 h. 2/3 h plus 1, 2/3 h minus 1. What is this 2/3 h? Remember, centroid. This has to be the center, symmetricity. This divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. So 2/3 of median. Median is nothing but the height in equilateral triangle. That's a ratio. What is height? We have assumed the radius as 1, so the side is 2. What is the formula for height? A root 3/2. Where A is the side of the triangle, which is 2. 2 root 3/2, that means h is a root 3. So the ratio which you are looking for is 2/3 root 3 plus 1 upon 2/3 root 3 minus 1. Take the LCM. 2 root 3 plus 3 upon 2 root 3 minus 3. Taking the LCM gives 3 in the denominator. Taking the LCM gives 3 in the denominator. Gets cancelled. This is the answer. You want to make it look like this? Rationalize. 2 root 3 minus 3. 2 root 3 minus 3. Or rather plus. Denominator needs to be 1 now. Rationalize this. A square minus b square. 4 3 are 12 minus 9. That's 3. A square 4 3 are 12. B square 9. 12 plus 9 21. Plus 2 2 ja 4 3 are 12. 12 root 3. 3 7 ja 3 4 ja. 7 plus 4 root 3 is to 1. That's option B for Bathla. Tough. Thinking this figure within the paper, tough. Not an easy thing, guys. Not an easy thing. So next time if such questions come, you can remember this as well. Generally, I make my students remember this, right? If you have 3 circles, the outer circles become 2/3 of the height of the triangle plus r of the circle, 2/3 of the height of the circle minus r of the circle. Alright. So I make them remember, guys. 2/3 of the triangle formed, 2/3 height of the triangle formed minus radius of the circle is this one. 2/3 of the height formed plus radius of the circle, this one. Next time it comes, you can crack it. Either it plays with this, outer, whatever. Right? So let's jump to the final question. That was based on modern math. Not easy, they're all tough, right? I've written that easy, like I wrote in the round 2 of slot 1 also, so that You don't fear from them. You fight with them. Okay. This question looked difficult. Eventually, this was not that difficult. These are two GPs written over here. Let's see. If I multiply these two, I get a 1 by 5 square. Right. If I multiply these two, I'll get a 1 by 5 to the power 4. If I multiply these two, I get a 1 by 5 to the power 6. You can observe that these are infinite GP. Then you have all the terms of the minus. Yes or no? So let's just keep minus common. Write down the second terms. 1 by 5 into 1 by 7, that's 1 by 35. 1 by 5 square, 1 by 7 square, that's 1 by 35 two times. So 1 by 35 square. Minus is common, right? So this minus becomes plus. 1 by 5, 1 by 7, 1 by 35, 3 times, that means 1 by 35 cube. Minus is common, so this is plus. Observe, they are nothing but the two GPs written. Infinite GPs, what's the formula? First term, that's 1 by 5 square, which is 1 by 25, upon 1 minus r. What is r? The jump. 1 by 5 square, that's 1 by 25. Minus a1 upon 1 minus r. What is r? The jump. 1 by 35, that's 1. 25 minus 1, 24. 1 by 25, right? 25 gets cancelled, you get a 1 by 24, right? 25 minus 1, 24 by 25, denominator is the same. Same here, 35 will get cancelled eventually, numerator is 1, 35 will get cancelled, 35 minus 1, 34. So 1 by 24 minus 1 by 34. That's your answer. You can easily solve it up. 34 and 24. The LCM, let's simply multiply. 34 minus 24 is 10. Multiplying 34 and 24, what do you get? 34 4 ja 120, right? And 16, 136. 2 into 34, 68. 6 1 8, 816. Cancel it by 2, 2 5 ja 2 408 ja. So 5 by 408, that's option D. So this was the entire slot 2 easy questions that were done in the last video, difficult questions that are done in this. Some of them were doable. If I were you, I would have taken care of this one. This, if I remember it, right? Let's put it 1.5. Let's go. This I would have definitely done 2.5. This I would have done 3.5. This I would have done 4.5. This maybe yes, maybe not, depending upon if this could have striked that time. Let's leave this one. This one, yes, because I understand whenever a quadratic is there with multiple, it is a perfect square. 4 or 5.5. Let's keep it 5. This depends. Maybe yes, maybe no. Let's keep it a no. This depends. If it striked me, perfect. Maybe a yes, maybe a no. But those 5 to be done. Tough in the day of exam. This is doable. So out of these 11, 6 were still those which you could have done. 11, those 6, there's 17. These 17 questions, try to hit 12 or 13 of them, you are spot on. That's it, guys. 13 questions in quant is too much, right? 39. It's nice. Okay. I hope you got it. Take care and all the best.